Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I am your tutor Dr. Shehla here with the histology of the fallopian tubes. So fallopian tubes are the paired tubes. They are nearly 10 to 12 centimeter long. They are divided into four segments. The infundibular part, which has a fringed end called fumerated end near the ovaries. Then it has the widest part, which is called ampulla, where usually fertilization take place. Then a narrow part called the isthmus, and then the fourth part, which is present in the wall of the uterine cavity. It is just 1 centimeter in length, called uterine or intramural part. Histologically, the oviducts are the fallopian tubes composed of these. It's all composed of mucosal layer, the muscular layer, and the serosa. So mucosa in turn consists of the epithelium, which is a simple columnar in nature, partly ciliated and partly non-ciliated, and just beneath epithelium there is a very small amount of the connective tissue called lamina propria. This epithelium is thrown into folds, longitudinal folds, most numerous in the infundibulum and the fumerated part of the ovarian tube. The next layer is the muscularis, and muscularis is formed by the inner circularly arranged smooth muscle layers and outer longitudinally arranged smooth muscles layer, and outer to this muscularis is the serosa, which is a simple squamous epithelium. So oviduct is the site of the fertilization and early cleavage of the zygote. It has a bidirectional flow because at the time of the ovulation the ova is transported from the uterine end to the ovary, and in case of the ovulation, in case of the fertilization, the spermatozoa are transported in opposite direction. So what helped in the transport? There are the two types of the cells present in the epithelium. One are the non-ciliated or the PEG cells, and other are ciliated cells. So these ciliated cells are very important. This is the transmission electron micrographic picture showing the ciliated cell in this diagram, and in between the ciliated cell you can see the non-ciliated or PEG cell. In this H and E stage section you can appreciate the ciliated cells as well as the non-ciliated cells. So epithelium of the fallopian tube also show changes according to the reproductive cycles of the female. In the first half of the cycle, when there is increase in secretion of the estrogen by the ovaries, estrogen causes celiogenesis. As a result of celiogenesis, the number of the cilia also increases and height of the ciliated cells also increases, which reaches its maximum at the time of the ovulation. In secretory phase or luteal phase of the cycle, when there is a progesterone is secreted from the ovary, it also causes secretory changes in the uterine tube epithelium. As a result, the PEG cells show secretory changes. These are the PEG cells, also called the secretory cells or non-ciliated cells. Number of the PEG cells increases in second half of the cycle, while ciliated cells show atresia in second half of the cycle. So peristaltic contraction plus ciliary activity plus fluid move the oocyte and then the zygote towards the uterus, and that's why it is also very important, because some diseases like inflammation, like other things like tubal ligation can lead to either infertility or ectopic pregnancies. So the ciliated cells, they are very important. They help in transport of the oocyte as well as transport of the fertilized zygote after fertilization towards the uterine cavity. So this is the histological diagram. In this diagram you can appreciate that this is the mucosa, and mucosa is thrown into many folds. This is the lumen, which is divided by the folds of the mucosa, and then beneath mucosa consists of again epithelium and connective tissue. This insert show higher magnification of the mucosa. You can appreciate these are the ciliated cells which are present. This one arrowhead shows the non-ciliated or PEG cells, and beneath the epithelium there is a lamina propria which contain all the connective tissue elements, and this lamina propria is throughout the same from the epithelium towards the muscularis. So there is no submucosa in case of the uterine tube, and just beneath epithelium there is only a lamina propria. So we have three layers generally histologically in uterine tubes. These are mucosa, then the muscularis layer, and then the serosa. Regarding this muscularis layer, it has inner circularly arranged smooth muscle cells and outer longitudinally arranged smooth muscle cells, and outer to this muscularis is a serosa. You can appreciate this serosa in this higher insert which show higher magnification of the serosa, and also appreciate the mesothelium. Another diagram at higher magnification of the folded mucosa. You can see the mucosa is highly folded on itself, and in this part you can also appreciate a lymphatic capillary as well, which is present. This is the epithelium. Just beneath epithelium you can appreciate the connective tissue which is forming the lamina propria, and this area is the lymphatic capillary. Again, another slide, H&E stain section of the isthmus part of the fallopian tube. You can appreciate also there are the folds, but not so frequently formed as in case of the fundibulum. Same epithelium, the ciliated and non-ciliated, as you can appreciate this from this slide, which is at higher magnification. Some cells are ciliated, other cells are non-ciliated, and then the connective tissue element, different types of cells are present in this connective tissue. Another diagram showing the fumerated end of the fallopian tube. You can appreciate highly folded mucosa on itself, and this insert show higher magnification, and further higher magnification in this insert you can appreciate the epithelium, the ciliated, non-ciliated cells, lamina propria. This area showing the lymphatic capillary. This whole is the mucosa which is formed by the epithelium and lamina propria. Beneath mucosa is there is the muscularis, which again consists of inner circularly arranged smooth muscle cells and outer longitudinally arranged. So histologically, I repeat, it consists of the four layers: the mucosa muscularis, and serosa. Mucosa consists of epithelium and connective tissue, which is simple columnar in nature and partly ciliated and partly unciliated. Muscularis layer and outer to muscularis is the serosa. So here today's class finished. Thank you for your attention, and we will meet in the next class, inshallah.